Dear Mr. Holubowitz, dear colleagues, let me introduce you the book I'm reading. Excuse my pronunciation. I hope you understand the text. You can actually turn on in subtitles, I think. Claire McGuinness is assistant professor of current deputy head of school at the School of Information and Communication Studies, University College Dublin, Ireland. She has a long-term interest in researching and teaching information and digital literacy, and has published extensively in these areas and others, including academic librarianship, reflective practice and teaching skills for librarians. This publication is an essential resource for academic teaching librarians and students on professional librarianship and information studies. The book consists of two parts. The first part talks about construction, the academic teaching librarian, shaping librarian, defining librarian, becoming academic teaching librarian, and second part introduced as an academic teaching librarian. It means technology, leading and coordinating and advocacy. I will talk about chapter 1, who explores the landscape of academic teaching librarianship and identifies 6 critical issues with the potential to disrupt and reshape the role of the academic teaching librarian as we currently experience. Who is a teaching librarian? This is a new type of librarian who works in the field of information education, must be able to work with new communication and information technologies, also has some narrower specialization in the field, and he uses appropriate methods and models in educating students. Information literacy is the main thing that libraries mediate and support, so they have to be well oriented here. How did it begin? In the word 2009, Obama called upon the people of the USA to recognize the important role information plays in our daily lives, and appreciate the need for greater understanding of its impact. In Europe, operate large-scale national initiatives promote science and research in the field of information literacy. United Nations Educational, Scientific and Culture Organization, or International Federation of Library Association. Library focus on information skills, not information access now. They think like educators, not service. They help people to sort and understand information more than just searching for it. And what are the critical issues who include conceptions of literacy? New literacy frameworks, critical information literacy, social media and fake news, learning, analytics and e-research, and data feed, scholarship. The information literacy still matters, but it must be connected to rated literacy type, mainly media literacy and digital literacy. We call it meta or trans literacy. I think you all know the differences between so-called literacy, but I'll just remind you. Information literacy is the ability to think critical and make balanced judgments about any information we find and use. Digital literacy, we use the term to describe the ability to harness the potential of digital tools. We can use technology to its fullest effect. Media literacy concerns different media, broadcasting, radio, press, different from distribution channels, traditional internet, social media, and addresses the needs of all ages. Meta-literacy and transliteracy is the ability to read, write, and interact across a range of platforms, tools, and media. It's being able to move confidently from one technology to another. Information literacy is nothing new. It has been here for 50 years. First wave, which focused on print documents and analog systems. Then second wave, internet and online information, and now third wave, post-information age. We are need to read in information, visual or numerical or media literacy. The author also presents models and concepts that deal with this problem, but you will probably not be interested. In fact, the book is boring for people outside the field, but one on the other hand, it contains knowledge that is valid in every field. In the meantime, libraries are not referred to as bank sources, but as labs, studios, makerspace, hackerspace, a place where students develop their own identities. Bank of sources is a space for usable phrases. Take out a phrase, use it, and leave it. And we come to the last and new concept that has begun to appear in American libraries, CIL, critical information literacy, is a way of thinking and teaching that examines the social construction and political dimensions of libraries and information. Critical information literacy means that information and knowledge are questioned by asking who generated the information, for what purposes, whose interests are served, and so on. So today, Teaching librarian is not just talking about peer-reviewed sources in their research. I'm sorry. Sakra. Research, but so about who has access to subscription-based published research, who is excluded. In summary, critical information literacy is concerned with the political, social, culture, and economic dimensions of information, who has access to it and who is excluded, who benefits from it, and who is disadvantaged. And now we are hearing, should libraries have a social justice responsibility? At all, somebody say yes, somebody say no, because libraries should be objective and neutral. The book says that for some of librarians may be adopting critical information literacy mindset good for finding sense of meaning in their work and adapting their teaching. But critical information literacy takes effort and active. Thank you for listening and goodbye.